Welcome to this demonstration of how to apply for a job seeker's payment as an educational sector worker. Open your web browser and in the search bar enter MyWelfare. Then select the official MyWelfare link. This will bring you directly to the home page. From here, select Out of Work Payments. You will then see a menu of services and you select Job Seeker's Payment. Select Find Out More. Here you will notice that you will need a verified MyGovID account to apply. If you don't have a verified MyGovID account, you can create one here. Also on this page, you are given information as to what is a job seeker's payment, who can get a job seeker's payment, what you will be asked for, and the different supports available to you for getting back to work or education. You can pause this screen at any stage to view this screen in more detail. Once you're ready, you can select Apply Now. You are now asked to log into your MyGovID. Enter your email address and your password and select Login with MyGovID. A code will then be sent to your mobile phone which you key in to access the MyWelfare services. As an educational sector worker, these are the questions you will be asked. Do you currently work part-time or are your hours being reduced to part-time? Select No. Are you a seasonal worker? You are a seasonal worker if you are employed on a temporary or contract basis where you work at certain times of the year. Your answer would be no. Then you're asked, do you have a job where you are unpaid during school or college holidays? This means your work is dependent on the academic year where you are unemployed during school or college holiday periods. Here you select yes. Once you're ready, select Save and Continue. On the screen, you are given information as to what is JobSeeker's benefit and what is JobSeeker's allowance. Once you have decided which you want to apply for, you can select either here and Save and Continue. A JobSeeker's benefit application takes approximately 10 to 15 minutes to complete, and you will have to answer such questions as your details, your employment and training, increase for dependents, and any additional information that's required. Once you're happy with all of this, you can select Begin Application to proceed. We are now on to the details section of the application. Here you are asked to confirm your address and select your payment method. Employment and training. Here you will select I am unpaid during school or college holidays. You need to answer, is the Department of Education your direct employer? Yes or no? And what break period are you applying for? Please only apply for one break at a time. Once you've selected, select Save and Continue. Continuing on, if you selected that the Department of Education is your employer, you will then be asked, what educational sector was your job in? What was the last date you worked in this job? Please enter your return date for this job. On average, how many days did you work per week? And did you have any other educational sector work in the period leading up to this current break? Once you've answered all, select Save and Continue. If you selected that the Department of Education was not your direct employer, you will then be presented with this page. You are asked to please provide your most recent employer's name, their email address, their phone number, their employer's address, the date you last worked, the date you're returning to work, and on average, how many days did you work per week. Next, you're asked to please select how you receive holiday pay from your employer. Holiday pay is payable to employees in two different ways. Employees build up a holiday entitlement and receive direct payment for these accrued holidays, or an employee may have their hourly rate of pay increased to account for holiday entitlement. If you do not know your holiday pay entitlement, you can ask your employer for this information, or please visit this link to find out more about holiday pay. The link will bring you to our gov.ie website. Here you can find information such as what job seekers support can I get if I'm temporarily laid off, who is an educational sector worker, holiday pay and job seekers payments, and the holiday entitlement sheet. This sheet can help you or your employer work out the number of holidays that you are being paid for. It can assist you in working out the number of holidays that you're being paid while on temporary layoff. Once you know, you can select that you receive payment for holidays and select the number of days, or if it's that you received an increase in your hourly rate of pay, you can state the total number of days by the total number of hours and the percentage increase to rate of pay. If you had no entitlement to holiday pay in this break period, you can select here. Next, you're asked, did you have any other educational sector work in the period leading up to the current break? You can select yes or no. Once you're ready, select Save and Continue. You are now asked, are you currently on a career break, involved in a trade union dispute, or on gardening leave? Or are you currently registered as a student? Are you currently engaged in any other employment or self-employment activities? Do you require an Irish residence permit to live and work in Ireland? And if you've been given a reference code from the department or your recent employer, please enter it here. For example, as an educational sector worker, you may have been given the code ESWA 2026. Once you're happy with all this, select Save and Continue. Next is Increase for Dependents. If you would like to apply for a payment increase for an adult dependent or any dependent children that you may have, you can do so on this page. Next up is Relationship. You will be asked what is your relationship status. If you choose civil partnership, cohabitant or married, you will be asked further questions. Once you've answered, select Save and Continue. Finally, we're on to additional information. You provided a date last worked earlier in the application. You will now be asked to provide the date you wish to start your claim from. This date must be after the date you last worked. Once you select the date, select Save and Continue. Here is your summary screen. It gives you a breakdown of all the answers that you've selected throughout the application. Once you're happy with all of this, you can read the declaration, select that you have read and agreed to the above declaration, and select Save and Continue to proceed. For the final part of your application, we just need some more information on your personal history and your employment and educational history. When you're ready, select Continue to the next section. Here you are asked more questions, such as what is the size of the location where you live? Or have you difficulty with reading or writing or numbers? How well do you speak English? Once you've answered all, select Save and Continue. Next, you're on to employment and educational history. You must answer all of the following questions. The next section is mutual commitments. This is between you and the Department of Social Protection. Once you have read all of it, you can then select here to acknowledge that you have it read. And once you're ready, you can submit your application. Success. Your application has been successfully submitted. To return to your home page, you can select here, or you can go to Menu and view your dashboard. You will see here your submitted Jobseeker's application. You will also notice on the right hand side your notifications. I hope you found this demonstration helpful, and thank you for watching.